No.
Payback for last season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Adam, excellent 3 points against a good side.
Yeah, they are a good side, and they were certainly the better side for the first 25 minutes. We were all at sea. Their keeper made a really good save actually off Josh Amami. I think it was on 10 minutes. That was probably the first time where we put our foot on the ball, made a few passes, got in, and he's made a good save up to his right. But I think 2 minutes later they go and score, just soft from a throw-in, running through, runs off. Probably Jonah should do better, but they deservedly went in front, and we were probably fortunate that it wasn't further. I think they had a few efforts from distance, but we found a way to club ourselves back into the game and forced an error. We'd spoke about our press and trying to force mistakes, because they are a good footballing team if you stand off them. And forcing that mistake through Ross Crane and then Tommy Hughes getting his goal just kind of got us back in the game when maybe we didn't deserve to. But I felt we then got on top in the game up till half time, and I thought second half we were a better team. We competed so much better right across the pitch. Looked a little bit of a threat. At times we had more spells of possession, restricted them playing through us as much as they did in that first 25 minutes. And massive credit to the players for winning a game from behind, which is so difficult to do in this league. Winning a game from behind at home when we've had a couple of other games where we've gone behind and lost, and particularly after the week we've had. Last Saturday was so tough against a good side, league below. You've got the emotional blow of conceding after 100 minutes. You've then got the replay on Tuesday night on a really heavy pitch, playing half an hour with 10 men. And to then go behind after 12 minutes here against a good side, the easy thing to do is to fold, and we didn't. We found a way, and that's what it's all about.
And it is about pressing with them, isn't it? Because they like to play it from keeper out to defence. You just force the issue, and as was proven.
Yeah, and we pressed a lot better in the second half than we did in that first 25 minutes. I think sometimes in that first 25 minutes, I felt that we had players going and trying to get after the ball, but then we were too deep in behind, and we had far too much space through the middle of the pitch, and they just picked us off and got onto our back line far too many times. Whereas I felt in the second half we picked our moments, when to go, we locked them down one side, we forced errors, and yeah, I think that led to us probably having more spells, then having less flow to the game. But they're a decent side, and I said that in my programme notes, the improvement in them since Steve and Terry have gone in there is massive. So it's they haven't conceded many goals either. So for us to get two and win the game, I think it's a really important result for us.
We know the place that Lynn have got now with Ross and Finn as well, isn't it? And Ross showing today probably more of what he can do.
Yeah, I think even sometimes I expect too much of him. He's still a young lad, and he's playing at a very difficult level of football. He's come up from Leiston, and he has moments in games where you think, wow, but then he has moments where you want to pull your hair out because he'll maybe take an extra touch or he'll turn back. And it's just decision making. I think generally what determines how well players do is decision making, and he's work in progress, but he's full of running. He's full of enthusiasm, and I'm so pleased that he's got his goal there today, just through willingness to work, because Dylan Crowes has played a ball up and in behind, made their defender defend, put a bit of doubt in the goalkeeper, and Ross has gambled, and he's forced a mistake, and he's got his first goal for us, and I'm so pleased for him. And also you mentioned Finn Barnes, who again he's new to us, relatively new to us, and we're probably still figuring out how to get the most out of both of them players. But one thing you can't knock them for is their effort. I thought Finn, certainly in the second half, he put a right shift in, so I'm really pleased for them both.
And it's people chipping in with goals, which is what you need now, isn't it?
Well, of course you do, yeah, because it's the hardest thing to do, especially against organised teams. But we forced 2 errors on them today, and that's won us the game through hard work. you know, you can have all the tactics and all the quality in games, but sometimes it's just willingness to work and force the opposition into doing something or making errors. And you know, the first one's good press. Ross forced the error and we've squared it to Tommy and he scored. And the second one, it's just a ball behind. Ross hasn't given up on it, and he's, you know, forced an error from the keeper and he scored. So, you know, it's it's important that we just keep on working hard.
It was such a mammoth effort on Tuesday that reflects in your starting 11. I mean, Sam wasn't even in the squad. Macca, I guess, is he still injured?
Yeah, I mean, Sam obviously played the full game on Saturday on the 3G. He then done the 120 minutes on Tuesday, and he just felt his calf a little bit, which is a blow for us because he's been superb. Then a couple of games in the Hereford game, so you know he's not been able to train back end of the week, and he has had issues with that calf before, so he's probably going to be missing now for several weeks, which is a big blow for him and for us. Macca, it's nothing major, but he's just not quite right. So again, he's probably going to be at least a couple of weeks. So yeah, it's a blow, but that's the importance of the squad. You know, Tommy's been patient. He's played today and played really well. Josh missed out on Tuesday. He came in and he's played well. And Josh McCann's come off the bench and thought he was magnificent at the time he was on the pitch. And obviously Tom Wilson's come in the absence of Macca and he's been superb. So you know, just you can't do well with just 11 players. You need a squad, but you know for sure Sam and Macca are big players for us. So to have them both missing for a few weeks is a bit of a blow.
But it is handy, isn't it, when you've got people who can come in and seamlessly knit in.
Yeah, it is, but that's what we've worked really hard for. You know, to have a strong, competitive squad, because you know you look at them, they've got some big players missing, and looks like they've lost. You know, Barrow today. We send our wishes to, because he's a good player and he seems like a good lad. So the all clubs have players missing, but you're only as strong as your squad. And you know, likes of Tommy, Hughes, Tom Wilson. Them two in particular probably been frustrated earlier on when they weren't playing, but the team was performing quite well. But then things change so fast in football, and they've, you know, when they've gone on the pitch, they've done pretty well for us in the main. So every single person in this group is important, but I think they're all capable of playing and starting in this team, and that's going to be massively important for us over the course of a long season.
That will be the gloomer here. That you've got Keane, presume he's going away with Gibraltar.
Yeah.
And you've got, sorry, looking at the list now, and Ross is now suspended, I think, for
Yeah.
Saturday,
Yeah.
isn't he? That's why I didn't want to be the gloomy bit. But you know, with those other injuries you mentioned, then you are getting down a bit thin. As Sam as well.
Sam and Macca, yeah.
So
yeah. Well, we've still got bodies, but you better bring your boots next Saturday just in case.
Christ almighty, you are in trouble.
No, listen, it's just the way it goes sometimes. You know, you pick up niggles and knocks, and one thing we don't do is we don't make excuses. You know, we don't feel sorry for ourselves. You know, every club and every manager will want every player available and fit all the time, but the reality is that very rarely happens. So what we've showed in the last few weeks is a way of keep on performing and getting results despite having players out missing. So we'll obviously just try and do the same next week.
Is Finn, the other Finn White, fit?
Yeah.
So he might.
Yeah, Finn will definitely be. He'll definitely be with us next Saturday. So that's one extra.
I don't need my boots.
Maybe not.
But he's another example, isn't he, of a young lad who's gone up
Yeah.
a level, well, several levels, a bit like Ross.
Yeah.
But I guess the joy is if you can see them performing out on the pitch and see them improving.
Yeah, I mean that's the challenge of the young players, isn't it? You know, we've took a few younger players in, and our job's to try and develop them, help them get better. And Finn's made a massive jump up the levels, but certainly in pre-season when he played, he looked really good, and he got himself a deal because you know he was in on trial with us for several weeks of that pre-season. So He just had a little bit of a niggle, and he's been back in training, you know, for the last 3 weeks now. He's played 2 or 3 games for the under 23, so he's fit and he's ready to go. He's just missed out today, but obviously with the cup he should have been on the bench on Tuesday night actually, but we forgot to put him on the team sheet, which would have been helpful to have had the extra body on Tuesday night. But anyway, that side, but he'll definitely be involved next Saturday.
Big game as well. I mean, we've spoken to you about this before, but forget Curzon, it's the cup. It's a big game for you, isn't it?
Of course it is. The FA Cup. It's a great competition. I mean,
does it interfere with things that you do though, or is it you just regard it like another league game almost? It's just a game.
Just another game. You know, regardless of who we play, it's just another game. We'd rather be in it. You know. And I've said to the players, you know, all along, we're not going to win the FA Cup. If we do that, then we'll all be kings, won't we? You know, we're not going to win the FA Cup. But when the moment comes that we leave the competition, we've got to make sure that we do it having fought right till the end. And they did that on Saturday and Tuesday, and we've earned our right to be in the next game. You know, it's just obviously coincidental that it's against Curzon, and everybody will naturally build that up. But people think that I'm trying to play some kind of mind games because I'm saying that the pressure's on them. But I genuinely believe that. You know, you can't, for all these years, ask for respect and then turn it down when it comes your way. You know, they're an established team in this league. They've been given a group of players that are used to winning week in, week out. You know, they've added Bobby Jones, Luke Griffiths, Isaac Buckley-Ricketts, and that's made them a better team going into this season. This is a team that got to the playoffs last year, so you know, I'm not playing any mind games. You know, I genuinely believe they are one of the best teams in this league, and they're a team that are used to getting results week in, week out. I'm giving them the respect that they deserve. They've beaten us the last 2 times we've played them, and we're going up to them. So they are the favourites. You know, it's unless I'm deluded. You know, there's many reasons, and I can name more and more. You know, we certainly won't underestimate the challenge ahead of us next week, but it's a game of football, and we'll be going up there to win it. But we know it's going to be tough.
You're going rude health as well after a good week this week.
It's been a great week for us. You know, great week for us. We've spoke so much about wanting to make this place a difficult place to come, and you know, for us to have won the last 2 games here, or 3 games here, including the Cheshire one. But you know, the feeling that everybody leaves the ground with after going through on Tuesday night and seeing the effort of the players, and then to come back today and see the effort of the players to come from behind again and find a way. You know, we haven't played brilliantly in the last few weeks. You know, and I'm the first to admit that. But we found a way to get results. I think that's 1 defeat in 8 now. So we're in decent form. We're not conceding, you know, many goals at all, and we're in a good place. We're only going to keep on getting better and getting stronger, and I genuinely believe that. I've said it since the word go. But it's been a really good but tough week, and the players deserve a lot of credit, and they'll get an extra day off on Monday because they've deserved it.
Just one for me. I mean, how much of a blow on a personal level is that to Sam next week? Because obviously with your previous connections with Curzon, I mean, he must be gutted.
He is, but things don't bother him for long. You know, he chews a wasp for a bit, spits it out and gets on, and that's just how he is. So he'd be disappointed. I know he's been disappointed the last couple of games where we've obviously lost to him and he's not played. But he's a club legend there. You know, I think people can give me all the stuff they want. I don't care. I don't care. People can say what they want about me. I know what type of man I am, and you know, their players know what type of man I am. As do my players here now. They know what type of man I am. They know what I'm about. But to give Sam, who was club captain there when in the most successful part of the club's history, to give him grief, I don't think that's fair. And I think he was looking forward to getting back on the pitch there and performing against him. But you know, sometimes things go against you, and I know he'll be giving just as much from the technical area as he would be on the pitch.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah.